and founder of NomiFest. He's a visionary leader, educator, and advocate, committed to fostering equity, opportunity, and innovation in North Miami. Passionate about youth empowerment, he founded the NOMI Leaders in Training Program, also known as LIT. And with a doctoral degree in educational leadership, he focuses on reducing truancy and expanding student success. Guided by his mantra, putting people first, Mayor DeSume continues to drive progress and inclusivity in North Miami. And by the way, he's also a pioneer. Please welcome to the stage, Mayor Alex DeSume. Today, Mayor DeSume and the City of North Miami are honored to welcome a distinguished guest whose multifaceted career and unwavering commitment to community empowerment continues to leave a lasting mark on both the entertainment industry and society at large. Born in the Bronx and raised in Harlem, Dr. Yoba has captivated audiences with his compelling performances in iconic roles such as Detective J.C. Williams in the groundbreaking series New York Undercover and Hugh Brenner in the beloved film Cool Runnings. Beyond his artistic achievements, Dr. Yoba has dedicated himself to uplifting young people and fostering positive change. As a former vice president of the City Kids Foundation, he's been a steadfast advocate for youth development, using his platform to inspire and mentor the next generation. In 2017, he founded Yoba Development, a company founded to providing young people of color with access to the real estate industry, demonstrating his commitment to economic empowerment and community revitalization. Please turn your attentions to the monitors for more.
Fix this, man. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. First thing we're gonna do is beef up security. That's first. We're talking to a guy that's supposed to be the best in the business. We're gonna go to work, we're gonna act like everything is normal, and that's how we're gonna work this. Fix this, man. I'll tell you what we're gonna do.
You want to share?
First.
Thanks, Ellie. So today, I woke up and I heard Andrew's laugh. I mean, I know I shared how quiet my son was, but that laugh, I don't even know where that came from, you know? Yeah, one of them contagious joints, you know what I mean? Like, next thing you know, you laughing, and you don't even know why. I remembered it this morning. Made me think, I'm the luckiest man living on this earth. That I heard my son laugh.
You want to share?
Moving into a whole new line of work here. You can't hire amateurs for this type of deal.
I understand your frustration, Bill.
They can't carry firearms. The equipment is...
It needs improvement, yes. I'm actually jotting this down as we speak. It's, it's very constructive.
Constructive?
Yes, I hear your concerns, and I will address them.
You know what? You're using that shrink voice again.
What voice is that?
If you keep doing that, I'm going to hang up on you.
Are you anxious about this operation?
Or is it something else?
You okay?
I'm going to be fine, thanks.
You did good.
I made a mess of this thing. Should have kept it more contained.
Yeah, I guess in that case you blew it. We're heading back to the office.
Rosa wants me to stay and spin the story, so you guys go ahead.
Leaving the part about the office and the brainwashing now? Good luck with
Moving
it.
in.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm North Miami welcome to esteemed actor, entrepreneur, and activist, Dr. Yoba.
How we turn it on. Good morning, everyone. I know we could do a better North Miami pioneer good morning. Good morning, everyone. Before we begin, Dr. Yoba, it's truly a pleasure and an honor to welcome you to our beautiful city of North Miami. And before we get started, we want to acknowledge Councilman Kevin Burns in the audience. Please say hi. Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. So we'll get right into it, Dr. Yoba. You've emphasized on the importance of education, curiosity, and I quote, you say, education is key, man, and I don't care how you get it. Pick up a book, watch a movie, ask a question. How can students nowadays cultivate the love of learning in terms of both inside and outside the classroom?
Question for the students. Good morning. Y'all okay? How many people in this audience feel really curious? Just raise your hand. So you see what just happened? Did you hear his question to me? Clearly? No? Do you need him to repeat it?
Okay, here's the question. You emphasize the importance of education and curiosity, and I quote, education is key, man. I don't care how you get it. Pick up a book, watch a movie, or ask a question. So here's the question. How can students cultivate a love for learning inside and outside the classroom?
Did you hear the question? Can somebody scream it out? I want to make sure that we in this together. Can you stand up a second and say your name? What's your name? Can we say good morning, Deanna? Okay, thank you. Yes, so he asked me the question, and I don't want to make assumptions about how y'all might do this. So personally, I've always just been a really, really curious person. And, you know, if I don't know something, I'm not afraid to ask a question. And I think that in the world we live in now, like these young folks are growing up with the internet. They've got TikTok, they got Instagram, they've got all kinds of, you know, ability, YouTube, to learn anything. So for me, you know, there's an old saying, the more you know, the more you owe, or the more you grow. And so as long as we stay relentlessly curious and ask questions, because there's a lot of things that can happen in the world that we could be very confused about. And so sometimes people might just ask their friends, or sometimes they might avoid things because they don't understand it. And it's easy to judge if, you know, you don't understand something. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Cool Runnings, or the Jamaican bobsled, that movie we did. And my character in the movie, you know, it says to one of the other guys, you know, people are always afraid of what's different. And I think for me, growing up in New York City around so many different cultures, right? I worked in a restaurant and one of the owners would speak Spanish to all the staff. He was a white guy. I grew up around Spanish kids in Spanish Harlem. This guy grew up in Long Island, not around a bunch of Spanish-speaking people. So I said to him, yo, how come you speak Spanish to these guys? He said, they're the ones that taught me. From that day on, I made it my business to learn to speak Spanish. So anytime I would see something that I say, ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? I wanted to learn everything. The same thing with being around Haitian people, right? I'm like, yo, what did you say? Sac passe? Oh, nabule. Oh, you taught me that, right? So that's always been my thing, is just to always ask a lot of questions. There are times now as an adult, I'll be in meetings. I might be on a Zoom. Somebody says something that I don't know. I will literally Google it in real time while I'm in the meeting. And I'm not afraid to not know something, right? As an actor, somebody can hand you a script and you start reading it. And one of the best things you could do as an actor is ask questions, right? Because just because a person wrote it doesn't mean even the writer fully understood what they wrote. So you always have to, you know, inquire and stay curious.
So to my students, I want to go a little bit off book. This conversation is not to talk at you, but to talk with you. So we appreciate the crowd participation that we do receive from you all. Now, to you, Dr. Yoba. You've portrayed a variety of characters, from Yul Brynner in Cool Runnings, as you just said, to Detective J.C. Williams in New York Undercover. How did you get started in acting? And then a follow-up question. Which role has been the most impactful for you, and why?
I got started acting as a little kid. I grew up in Harlem and in the Bronx. My father refused to put a television in the house because he didn't want us to have other people tell us how to think. So our house was filled with books, musical instruments, and we used to create plays in the house. So I'm talking as young as like 7, 8 years old. My siblings and I, there were 6 of us. And we would write plays, we'd make costumes, we'd make scenery, and we would charge our parents or the neighbors a quarter to come see. I know this doesn't seem like a lot of money, but back in the day, a quarter, you could do something with a quarter. You can go get a pizza and a soda for a quarter. But yeah, we used to write plays and perform them. We had theater programs in schools, so we got a chance to perform at school. Professionally, I got to do my first film at about 20 years old. I used to run a youth program. So just so y'all know this, even though you might see me in movies, the thing that I'm actually most passionate about is working with young people. So I was a 16-year-old tutoring kids in after-school programs. By 19, 20 years old, I was working in 13 high schools in New York, helping to reduce the dropout rate by using art to engage young people. Like when I see them sit here like this, my instinct is to want to be out there with them, like asking them questions, because I know they're sitting there, they're paying good attention, but I'm really more curious about what they're thinking, even though you asked me about my acting career, right? But my acting career started with education. It started with working in community. It started with working with young people. And one summer, in the summer of 1989, the grant that was hired, that I got hired, that was paying for my employment, ran out. And I was working for a group called the City Kids Foundation at the time. And I told my boss I would volunteer for the summer. And when I showed up to work, there was a sign on the wall for an audition. So the youth program had a theater company, but I wouldn't perform. I was more interested in running the organization. And because we ran out of money, I was like, you know what? It was paying $325 a day. And I went and auditioned for that movie. I got that movie. And that led to Cool Runnings in New York Undercover and everything else. But I actually was not pursuing a career in acting, even though I did it. I just didn't like people telling me when I could work. Because if you're an actor, you gotta wait to audition, right? So, you know, for me, I was much more interested in doing things that I could actually control.
Wow. Well, on that same note, to reflect a bit on your educational path, what strategies would you say you use to help you stay motivated and engaged, and how can students nowadays apply these methods in their own studies?
Does anybody here feel motivated? Yes. Who feels motivated?
You can raise your hand a little bit higher so we can see it.
You do? Can you stand up, please? Yes, you, young lady. What's your name?
Angelique.
What is it?
Angelique.
Can we say hello, Angelique?
Hey!
So, what keeps you motivated?
What keeps me motivated is that I want to be better.
So, can I give you a little tip?
Yes.
So, we're in a theater, right?
Yes.
One of the rules of theater is to speak to the person furthest away from you, which means you have to project your voice so we can all hear you. Do you mind doing that? A little louder, please.
What motivates me?
A little louder, please.
What motivates me the most is trying to be better than what I was tomorrow. I mean, yesterday. What I mean by that is that I grew up with my parents. They weren't just, they weren't.
Can you speak to the person past this wall? I want you to act like there's somebody on the other side of this wall and they need to hear you.
They weren't successful. They didn't have big jobs and these big companies, so I was living, lower class.
You know, I'm sorry, I gotta check this out. Hold on, I can't do this. I'm sorry. Is that all right? Is that okay? So, Angelique, did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? Stand up, please. Come here. What's your name?
Duanisha.
Juanisha?
Duanisha.
Duanisha, turn around. I want you to hear her. Can you speak to her, Angelique? Remember I said you need to speak to somebody past that wall? And she was sitting in the first row. I don't think she heard you. So the question was, what's the question again?
The question was, how can you use motivation to engage, and how can students apply these methods in their own studies?
And then I asked the question, who feels motivated? And Angelique stood up. And can you repeat what you said? How do you stay motivated?
How do I stay motivated?
Yes.
Okay. I stay motivated by trying to be better than I was yesterday. Can you hear me?
Can you repeat what she said? Can you speak back to her? Yep. She stays motivated by being better than she was yesterday. What else?
When I grew up in not higher class, and I want to be higher class. So I keep thinking of what I want for tomorrow, what I want for the future, so that keeps me motivated for what I want to accomplish.
Can you repeat that?
She says
She
grew up.
take over.
She says she grew up lower class. So, can you repeat what you said after that?
Yeah, I want to grow up and be the highest class.
So she wants to grow up and be the highest class.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. See, I'm sorry. You know, I know I'm supposed to be in the seat, but I'm feeling this energy from these young people, and I can't be in this room without feeling like I can make a. I was one sleeping actually. I understand, brother. I'm tired too. So, can I just address what she said? Can we make this a little bit more interactive? Is that okay? Okay. So, Angelique, was it Angelique? So, the way you motivate yourself is the exact same way I motivate myself. My only goal is never to be better than anyone else. It's only to be a better version of me today than I was yesterday. But you said something else about your parents. You said your parents, initially you said they weren't successful. Is that true? Would they say that? Do you think your parents are doing a good job raising you? Did you buy them clothes you got on your back? Did you buy the clothes you're wearing today? Did you buy the food in your house? Do you pay the bills? Do they get up and go to work every day? What's that?
No.
Do they get up to go to work? Do they take care of you? Excuse me? You don't live with them? Okay, do they take care of themselves? Okay, so there's different ways that we can measure success. That's not always just about money, right? It's the ability, hold on y'all, hold on. You know what? I didn't fly all the way from New York City and Brooklyn to come see you and not get a chance to see you. That's the reason why I can't sit on the stage, because I want to make sure that we connect. That something happens today that can help transform your life. To let you know that there are people that you might not have even met that actually care about you. This is not an admonishment. This is not to make you feel like you're in trouble, but it's to let you know that you are seen and that you're important and that you matter. Amen?
Amen.
Amen. Hablas español. Tú eres más importante. ¿Cuál es su nombre? ¿Cómo? Ven aquí, por favor.
For the people who don't speak Spanish, he said, "You are very important. What is your name?" And then he asked them to join him.
Ven aquí, por favor. Can we give him a hand?
He said,
He's
"Come here."
We're going to introduce you to the rest of your life. We're going to have to flip this whole thing if you don't mind. What is your name, sir? Sherman. Can we say hello to Sherman? Can we say hello to Sherman? Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong name. What's your name? Samuel. Can we say hello to Samuel? All right, come here, Samuel. Come hang out with me, man.
Sam, don't look too excited.
He doesn't really want to be here right now, so y'all need to give him some love. Can you take the mic? He's like, nah, why are you doing this to me, bro? You play too much. Would you rather be someone? We're not going to make fun of him. I'm trying to encourage him. Samuel, what brought you here today? None. Okay. Nothing brought you here today? You don't think so? Nothing brought you here? You don't know? Do you want to sit back down? He's like, please, go ahead, brother. So that was good though. That was, come on, man. Oh wait, no. You're gonna learn one thing today, brother. Shake my hand. Con más fuerte. Come on.
Very strong.
Tú sabes, okay? That's how you shake a hand. You look, even if you're nervous, you look him in the eye, you shake it strong. Thank you, Samuel. He's squeezing. All right, give him a hand. Give him a hand. All right, next question.
So the next question comes from me. You've been deeply involved in youth development, notably with the City Kids Foundation.
Yep.
What motivated you, as we just spoke about, to focus on empowering young people? And how can today's youth become catalysts for positive change in their communities?
What motivated me? I hated school. That's what motivated me.
That's a real answer.
Now, y'all clapping, but your principal told me y'all love to come here, so I don't know. Something's going on. I don't know. So I really hated school. I hated my teachers. And the reason why I hated my teachers is because most of them did not understand me. So I just said to Samuel, hold on, y'all, is this what we're gonna do? Because you know how I get down. Come on up here. Y'all want to pass notes? Nah. Those are questions? All right, hold on. They got, okay, hold on. They like, no, don't mess with my babies. I'm just making sure what's going on. Because y'all ain't let me know. So, y'all, who called the police? All right, those are questions. So if I see blue paper, those are, thank you. So Samuel, I was like Samuel. See, what I said to Samuel is, I want to make sure that you feel seen. Most people want to be seen, heard, and understood. Is there anybody in this room that does not want to be seen, heard, or understood? Raise your hand. And that's not a trick question. Everybody wants to be seen, heard, and understood. Teachers didn't always give me that respect. So I had this one teacher named Mr. Arias. He was actually my Spanish teacher in 7th grade. Now, in 7th grade, I actually gave my teachers my autograph. And I said, I'm going to be famous. You should keep this. True story. Because I had enough belief in myself that I knew that my life was going to matter. And it wasn't about being in film or television. It was really about my deepest passion at that time was to actually become an educator, because I thought the people who were teaching me didn't really respect me. Mr. Arias literally sat me in a corner with a dunce cap. Do you know what a dunce cap is? It's a cone-shaped hat where they would write dunce, D-U-N-C-E, which basically meant stupid. My 7th grade teacher sat me in a corner and put a dunce cap on me. Now, I was a kid that was always in advanced studies because I wasn't stupid. But I was a little black boy, and oftentimes, little black boys are deemed as a problem. And so he tried to make me into a problem and tried to make me into an example. And he sat me in the corner and put a dunce cap on me when I was 12 years old. He didn't understand who I was. And it broke my heart. And he's the person, one of the teachers that motivated me to be a teacher. Another good friend of mine, his name is Dr. Adam Aponte. Adam wanted to become a doctor. And we had another Spanish teacher that used to tell Adam, you know what? I don't think you should dream so big. Why don't you be a little bit more realistic? When I did New York Undercover, I was invited back to come to speak at the school. I brought Adam with me. The teacher that told Adam he shouldn't dream about becoming a doctor was now the principal. And it was an assembly just like this. The principal was in the back of the school. He was all excited. Look at my former student. He's become a big TV star. But I brought Adam and I brought another kid named Chuck Burnside. The three of us were the problem kids, quote unquote. Chuck became a teacher. I was an actor on television. Adam became a doctor. I said, Mr. Ambrose, tell the story about what you told Adam when he said he wanted to be a doctor. Now, of course, he didn't want to blow up his own spot. Tell the kids what Mr. Ambrose told you. And Adam told a story about how Mr. Ambrose used to tell him he needed to not dream so big. Adam is now the CEO of the Borican Health Center in Spanish Harlem where we grew up. So what made me passionate about doing this work is because teachers didn't see me, they didn't care, they put me in a corner, called me stupid, and I know it's bigger than that. Because like, what is it? Angelique. I was like you. I said, I'm going to be better tomorrow than I am today. I gave my teachers my autograph because I believed it. I believed that I was going to do something that mattered. So my passion for this work is because I know that people don't always see you. And they don't always ask you questions like this. Come here. You saying no? I don't believe you. Come here, please. This is your moment. Would you like to tell me your name? What is it? Ruben. Ruben made a choice. Ruben was like, nah. He didn't believe that it was okay for whatever reason. It's not a judgment. He decided he was better off sitting there. You had no idea what opportunity could have followed the introduction. But if you don't learn anything else today that I hear, that I say, please know that the ability to become anything you want, even there are things that you don't know that you may want, starts with your belief in yourself. You have to believe that it is possible. Ruben, I'm gonna give you another shot. Can you please stand up? Can we give Ruben a hand? You see, Ruben just changed his life. Come on up here, Ruben. I understand. I wouldn't want to get up either. I don't know me. Would you like to say hello to your school community, Ruben?
Hello.
Y'all know the rules. Come on. What's his name? Ruben. Hold up your head. Come to man. There you go. Shake my hand. You got that firm handshake. You know how to look somebody in the eye. Ruben, let me ask you a question. Why are you on this planet?
Honestly, I have no idea.
And that's okay. There's a whole bunch of adults walking around with no idea either. They just doing stuff. So, what do you like to do?
Code sometime.
Did you just hear what he said? He said code. You said code. So, what do you want to do with your coding? What would you like to do with your coding?
Become a software engineer.
Do you know any software engineer?
Huh? No, not as right now.
Does anybody in this room know a software engineer? Come here, sir. You, sir. He's like, please don't make these people look at me. I'm gonna look at my feet. Because that's, hey man, that's a safe, let's all do it together then. We're gonna look at our feet together, bro. All right, next. All right, you don't have to look at the people. How about you look at the clock? That's a trick, right? So if you ever have to speak in front of a group of people and you're really nervous, there's two things you could do. You could choose one person, choose one person, or look over everybody's head. All right? Okay. Now you got your head up. Now we can see you. Thank you, Ruben. What's your name, sir?
Stephen Marcellus.
I'm sorry, Stephen Marcellus? You know computer software engineer?
I know people that do it.
And what do you do? Are you a teacher here?
No, I'm the interim transportation manager for the city of North Miami.
Okay. So what do we tell Ruben about his dream? How do we connect him with people who do what he wants to do?
Well, he definitely want to try to intern. You want to intern? You want to try to intern? Sure. Reach out to North Miami and see, our communication, our IT department. Reach out to anybody there, see who they know. Somebody knows somebody that can get you in the direction that you need to get to.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Dr. Yoba, can I add to that really quickly?
Yes, you sure can.
So, Ruben, hi. Do you live in the city of North Miami? Okay, well, I would like for you to go to the City of North Miami Housing and Social Services website because we offer two programs for our youth. We have the Youth Opportunity Board and we have the Leadership and Training Board. And what those opportunities do, they allow students to come and intern with the City of North Miami to get a better taste of what it may look like once you graduate, and even if you don't go to college, what we do at the City of North Miami. And we have software engineers, we have people who work in IT, and I think that would be a great opportunity for you to better learn the world that you would like to enter into.
Come on. Come on, Ruben. Come on, Ruben. Ruben! We got one more question.
Yeah, we have opportunities everywhere, Ruben. Dr. Yoba, real quick before we get real quick before we get to the student Q&A, I want to ask you one last question real quick. We know that you founded Yoba Development, which provide young people of color the access to the real estate industry. So real quick, I wanted you to talk about your partnership with other mayors on the PP3 public-private partnership that you have in working with young people in the real estate industry.
The question was asked. I started a real estate development company. And the real estate development company, is that Paul? Yes? Because I can show them better than I can tell them. We could do that. Should we do that?
Let's show them.
Should we play the video?
Yes.
But we got a lot of plants and stuff in the way. I don't know how we want to do that.
Let's roll the video.
But the video is going to be blocked by chairs and
Can you all see?
the video, the screen is going to be blocked. I'm just saying. They're saying it's okay. They want to see a blocked screen, so I'm going to go with the people want.
No doubt, Brooklyn took it. From the ground up, Flip the Hood is about being intentional, about putting young people at the center of the conversation when it comes to generational wealth building.
Build up of this activation, literally going from paper to reality, was incredible. It was all a dream. When Malik called and said, we've got to find a way to bring the community together to have real conversations that will help close the information gap, which will ultimately close the wealth gap, I was down.
Yoga development is about building people, places, and things.
Being a son of Brooklyn and seeing Malik's Instagram post, I was definitely inspired by this idea of me starting to understand personally, being a design professional, how I could participate in the real estate development game.
The mission of the Yoba Development Foundation is to bring knowledge to young people, black and brown people who didn't have that access before.
My post-secondary plan for when I finish high school is to pursue a career in real estate development, and being here is just so impactful that I'm learning so much on tips and tricks and skills that it's going to make great connections, and I'm going to use it to greatly prosper in my future.
So often, people that are underrepresented in the commercial real estate industry really don't do it because they feel like they don't belong. And at the end of the day, in order to move the needle on diversity and inclusion in the industry, you have to actually get beyond whatever is happening internally, physically. It's about the mindset. It's about showing up with spirit, showing up with heart, and it's about being yourself at the end of the day.
Julian Gordon, what he did is bless the community with free books because he moves this way culturally. The offering to the community of this wisdom.
We want to get this information to the young people as quickly as possible so that it can take root and start to bear fruit earlier in their lives.
My name is David Adefeso, title CEO and founder of Suchi Inc. It was important for me to be here today to flip the hood because this is all about real estate. And real estate is the easiest way, the simplest way, actually the most sustainable way to build generational wealth. Education is a necessity because poverty is a pariah in our society.
It is so important to be at panels like today at Flipping the Hood, especially when we're talking about things like tech. Understanding that people can step into industries, especially people of color, that are not historically coerced to step into things that are innovative, things that are next level, which tech is necessary to transform the way we think about ourselves.
And that means we're going to be in rooms where we're going to be around people that don't look like us, aren't from the same backgrounds, but despite that, we still have to have the courage to speak up and make sure that we get our point across and speak on behalf of our community.
It's important for us to get back so we can all move forward because that's the story of society. Like, when people get to end of life and legacy, look back, it's so important to think about what impact did you make on society. So I think it's core to who we are.
My name is Karina Paulin. I'm the Chief Diversity Officer for New York City Public Schools. It's clear to me that we were doing things to communities instead of bringing communities to the table to be engaged in what it is we wanted to provide. And nobody can give you a better solution than the people that needs the solution. Instead of having things done to people, we should be doing things with people.
My name is Dr. Michelle Walker-Davis. I'm the CEO of Imperial Management Group. I have identified 2 areas in which we can close the wealth gap: government grants and government contracts.
When I think of from the ground up flipping the hood, it's about changing our mentality. It's the first real estate we own in our minds. So that's the first place we have to make an investment. And if we're going to close the wealth gap, we're going to close the information gap, which leads to the closing of the opportunity gap, which leads to closing the wealth gap. So that's what it is. For me, that's what it will always be. It all starts with what we think about.
In those communities so we can build wealth.
There's a whole lot of hoods out there waiting for us to come. Let's go beyond where we are to go where we want to go to.
Let's hear it for New York, yeah. I hope that answered some of your questions. All right, I'm gonna sit back down like a true guest.
Welcome back to the stage.
Good to see y'all again. I'm
Great
sorry.
to see you.
I miss y'all. I was out there hanging out with some kids.
We need this program here in North Miami, so before you leave, you got to commit how you're going to help us out, what you're doing in New York here.
Listen, brother. So I'm gonna make a deal with you right now, a handshake agreement. Sir? I would love to bring our program to this city. You asked a question about why did I start the company. So this work that I do with young people, I'm 57. I started doing it when I was 16, working in after-school programs, like I said. So any 16-year-olds in the house? So I was your age when I started working with young people my age. Actually, I started tutoring little kids, like in elementary school. As I told you, I was motivated to become an educator because I didn't think that the people that were educating me really respected me. And not just me, but kids that look like me. And so we got 5 minutes, they're telling us. So I would love to bring our program. So I just want to tell you really quickly, the reason why I started this is because I grew up in the South Bronx in Harlem when it was burnt out, and there wasn't a lot of new development, and I always wanted to build buildings. And then I got into the entertainment business, obviously. And when I started Yoba Development, I knew that I wanted to put young people at the center of it, to create pathways for careers that they don't even know exist, right? They can look at the skyline of Miami and go, who built all that? Who owns it? Who bought the land? Who paid for it? Who designed it? And I can tell you, every single person in this room, whether you're into software engineering, whether you want to be better than your parents were, whether you don't want to talk to people, there is a role for you in how cities are built. Any level of creativity, if you're into math, if you want to work with your hands, if you like design, if you want to work with plants, there's a role in the world of the built environment, and I wanted young people to know that. So that's why we started that. But they gave me 2 questions. I found
from our audience, from our students.
Some blue paper.
So I have a quick little rule. You ready? You have 2 minutes per question.
Okay, I can answer them quicker.
You can do. Oh, so let's break it down to 1 minute and 30.
What's something that happened in your career that has shaped you today? So I've had different careers. I've been in the entertainment business. I've been in education. I'm in real estate. I have a government contracting business, which means that we do contracts with under both the city level as well as the federal government, which y'all should know about because we pay tax dollars. Your parents are paying tax dollars. If you got a part-time job, you're paying tax dollars, and you have the right to actually be in business with the city, the state, and the country that you live in. It's not just other people that need to do that, right? So we need to learn these other pathways, right? So one of the things that shaped me is when I did the show Empire, and they killed my character, and that was probably the 8th or 9th time my character got killed on the show. One of the things that did was motivate me to make sure that I got deeper into my entrepreneurial game, right? And then I start businesses that I own. And I've always had other businesses. I've had a restaurant for 9 years in the city. I've had a marketing company. But being an actor in Hollywood basically just means you just have a job and you can get fired. They call it killing the character or canceling a show, but it's the same thing. So what that motivated in me was just wanting to make sure that I continue to build my own businesses, because my father always said, build your own generator, so when they turn off the power, you still have lights. So no matter what other people decide, as long as you look at life as I'm going to own things and not simply work for people. There's nothing wrong with working for folk, but if you are motivated to have your own thing, I encourage people to do that. So the last question was, what are the main parts to your life that pushes you to love your work with young people? Okay, well, young people themselves. I do believe that I was put on this earth to be of service. I do not believe that I was put here just for my own well-being. And my life doesn't really matter unless I can meet people like Ruben or meet people like Samuel, or I want to say Amelie. It's not Amelie. What is it? Angeli, right? I swear I'm going to remember it tomorrow. But I'm put on this earth because I know that there's kids like Ruben that don't want to stand up in front of a group of people, that might be introverted, that might be shy, that might not want to engage, right? But he's got dreams. I said, why are you on this planet? He said, I don't know, but you do know. You are on this planet to pursue the things that God puts in your spirit that says, go in this direction. If you want to be a coder, you are part of the transformation of the world. And you're putting yourself in a position where you literally can write your own book. You can create anything you want. And so the passion is for me to help young people, one, ask themselves that question. Every single person in this room should look themselves in the mirror. This is what I used to do as a kid. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? I used to stare in the mirror, stare in my own eyes to see if I could see my soul. I still do that to this day. Because only you really can know you, Ruben. Samuel, the same thing for you. I understood how you and why you behaved the way you did. You're like, I don't want to be here right now. This man's making me get up here and talk in front of these people. But what I wanted to do was give you an opportunity that you never had before. Something that you can grow from. And something to let you know that even when you're fearful, you have the ability to face your fear and do it anyway. Because the world is a scary place, and y'all are about to inherit this scary, crazy place. And you have a role. And don't let anybody tell you that you don't matter, that you don't deserve to be seen, that you don't deserve to be heard, that your genius is a gift to the universe. There is no one like you. Every single person in this room is as individual as their fingerprint. You may resemble other people, you might have the same shaped head, same kind of hair, you might wear the same clothes, but the spirit that's within each of us, God has designed us uniquely to fulfill his purpose. And that is to love each other, to support each other, and to be light in dark places. And there's a lot of dark places here. And that's what keeps me passionate. And I do this work all over the planet. And thank you so much for showing up, for taking yourself seriously, for paying attention and participating.
Oh my God, Dr. Yoba. Let's give Dr. Yoba.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
To our students.
Thank you, guys.
To our students, we thank you for joining us. You all are going to be escorted out first. To our North Miami personnel in the building, please wait until all the students have exited the building, and then we are able to leave. Again, on behalf of the city of North Miami and Dr. Alex Desume, our mayor, we thank you all for joining us today. Councilman Burns, would you please join us on stage for a picture?
Thank you guys for showing your pioneer pride. You're going to your 6th period. An announcement has been made regarding you guys reporting late, but you're going to 6th period. Thank you guys.